This just came in from Amazon, and I'm looking to replace my Drobo, USB-C Drobo 5-bay RAID that's connected to my computer. I'm having issues with it. It's about 10 years old, my Drobo, and something's happening with it. I've used it for 10 years. I used it like crazy, but I believe Drobo is out of business now. There is no more Drobo, and I'm really saddened by that. I've had a lot of Drobos. I still have Drobos. I have, I think, 3 Drobos. 1, 2, 3 more Drobos, and a NAS Drobo and a USB, another USB Drobo. So the Drobo I've been using on the computer that I use to edit my videos and stuff, because that's where I drop my files, because they're so big. I also do 360 videos on my driving channel, and the files for the 8K 360 videos for my Insta360 are huge, so I've been running out of space with that. So there's going to be an unboxing, a look at. I'll show the setup. I don't know anything specific except that it's a 5-bay docking station pretty much. I think it just does JBOD. I'm not sure if it does RAID. I guess we'll find out with the instructions of it. And I'm actually looking to move away from the RAID and just use hard drives individually. I use the external hard drive, the RAID, to put my huge files, to store them temporarily, work off of them. So I'm hoping that this, at a lower price compared to having a NAS, will let me use all my drives that I have that I'm not using. I think I'm putting 8 terabyte drives in here. I actually have a couple of drives that the Drobo NAS reports as failing. So I'm hoping that it's the NAS's issue, not the actual drive issue. So I'm going to put them in the docking. I'm going to be putting those drives that the NAS is reporting as having errors on this, and see how it performs. Keep it there for a few days before I start using those drives themselves, because I'm hoping that the drives are not bad. It's just that the Drobo is going bad. Okay. Wow, this is really light without any hard drives. All plastic. This is the bottom. It has a fan and little legs. It's all plastic. These are rubber feet here. Rubber feet here. This is the front. I guess that's all the drives indication. And the power. Power, USB-C, power. Oh, they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the arrow of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. And this is the actual cover itself. So this is magnetic right here. Yeah. It doesn't completely cover it, so it's, I think, tall enough for the hard drives themselves. And that's how long it is. See the there to there. So you know exactly where it'll fit in your area. And then I'm going to do left to right. Total height will be about 6.5 is the height. Cool. Now let's see what the accessories are. User manual. Oh, the power supply. Great. Wow. Pretty big. And USB-C cable. And let's see how long it is. Okay. So let's do a quick measurement on the brick itself. And you could do you could put all the, I guess I'll do a quick measurement, the whole thing. That's the size of the brick, the thickness. I wish it was not, it looks like kind of proprietary. 4-pin DIN power. Let me see how long the power is. let me show you what kind of power supply it is. Now, I say this in a lot of my videos. When I end up keeping the product, I get a silver Sharpie. You do this if you want. And I actually will put here, you know, ORICO 5-bay docking or ORICO 5-bay. You know, whatever fits here. I write it so that if I'm moving or I stop using the product and I put it away and I accidentally misplaced the adapter, when I find the adapter, I know what it's for. If you didn't do that and you don't like writing on your adapters, and do it after you can't return it. Don't do it and then you have to return the product. Make sure you're gonna keep it, and then you can write on it because it'll be yours because you can't return it. So after 30 days, in my case with Amazon, on the 31st or 32nd day, I'll write on it. So this is the information so that you have it if you lose it and you need to find a similar adapter. This is the specs on it. So I'm doing a close-up of the actual power supply. And then I'll just do a total measurement of everything from one end to the other. About 8 feet, or a little over 8 feet long that you have for power. And this will go back here. Okay, that's everything. Let me, my daughter loves to peel this. Let me see if she's available to peel it off. She finds it very satisfying. This is my Drobo 5-bay USB-C NAS. And I've owned it well over, I think over 10 years. And it's been working very well. I've had no issues with it until recently, about a week. I've been having issues. My issues with it is that there's nothing I can do correct with this thing, because every time I actually just move it, take the faceplate off, put it back on. First it started reporting one of the drives were bad. That's why I think it may be something to do with the Drobo, not the hard drive. And I'm gonna use one of those hard drives. This is a 12 terabyte drive that came out of this Drobo, which was reporting critical error. So I replaced the drive and it still was reporting the other one. Either it wasn't seeing the drive or giving it a critical error. And I continued to reinsert it, reboot, reposition the NAS little by little. I finally got it to this point where it's repairing. It shouldn't be repairing because all the drives already went through this. I moved it and it's doing it again. And it's been doing this for like 3 days. So I think the NAS itself is not doing very well, and I'm gonna have to move everything from here onto the ORICO 5-bay with other drives that I have. And I'm just gonna keep like maybe my YouTube stuff, or when I'm working on files like the 360 files, dedicate one hard drive just for those files. So hopefully little by little, I'll be able to get off the Drobo and start using this, because I can't, there's something wrong with this Drobo and I can't depend on it anymore. And I gotta move the data off before it doesn't turn on at all. So my daughter is gonna do the honors with peeling this off, because she loves peeling it off because it's so satisfying. satisfying.
Good.
Thank you. So shiny. I think it should have came in matte because it's probably going to be a fingerprint magnet. And it's just going to... Very, very shiny. Cool. All right, let's start putting the drives in. Before we insert a drive, I just want to show you. So this is one of the issues I'm having, which is, this is my C drive, okay? And I use the desktop to do work off of. I keep everything I'm working on, the 360 drives, the 360 videos on my desktop. So as you can see, I am completely maxed out. Look at the amount used space. So I can't drop anything in there. This is the size of the 360 file that I'm working on. It's 3.15 terabytes in size. It's 3 days worth of 360 video. This is how it looks. So the Drobo finally finished. It's all green, but it's just sometimes I reboot and it goes back to resetting itself, finding a new drive, doing what it was doing, what I showed earlier. So I don't think that this Drobo is going to last long. So I need to take the files from here and put them on in here. I'm going to copy and just keep a copy here. And when this finally dies, I'll be able to just reuse the drives. So I'm going to be putting 5 drives in here and using each drive for different purposes. I went through the manual and nothing in the manual talks about RAID. So it's not a RAID, it's just going to be JBOD, or just each drive will be treated as individual drives. Like if you know, just individual drives. So and I don't believe it's hot swappable. I didn't see anything about hot swappable. I wouldn't hot swappable even if it says it is. I usually shut it down. Even my NASs, I usually shut them down and put in the new one just in case anything. That's just me. So I'm going to try first. So the 5th drive, I'm going to make it the 12 terabyte drive that I have that's having some issues. So I'm going to put this one in there and then, let me see. Am I putting it in right? Nope, I'm putting it in wrong. Actually, it's got to go backwards. It's my 12 terabyte one that's going bad. That's how you put it. The SATA connections are on the right. Maybe you're facing the docking and you can see it on the drive is on the right as well. So the 5th and the 4th one are going to be drives that have been reported by my NASs with errors. Now these are going to use sparingly, maybe temporarily, not keeping my YouTube files, which one of the drives will be. I'll just keep my YouTube information in there, the music that's from YouTube that I could use on my videos, and other things I have edited and I saved. So I'll make that my YouTube drive. Let me go get another drive. These are 5 drives. These are the 2 I'm going to just test on first. I'm actually going to take all the drives. I set them up. These 3 drives, just realized the 3rd one as well, were reported bad by a NAS. Now I have a lot of NASs. I probably have like 8 NASs, or have had up to 8 NASs, and these came off NASs being reported as bad. So I'm going to first start with this one to see if I get any reports of it being bad, and do some hard drive tests. And then I'm going to end the video with this one. These 3 I'm just going to take off for now. I'm going to take off these 4 for now, test this one. And because this supposedly was reported as bad, I'm going to do a drag and drop test with some files and some programs to test the speed and everything of the actual docking station. Very newbie programs. I'm just some guy who buys things and tries them out and tries to figure out my issue. Just a regular guy, not a super high-tech guy, just tries things out. So I'll just use the basic programs that you can find online to test the drives and the docking station speed, drag and drop. So I'll take a think I have a 20 gig file that I could drag and drop, and you can see the speed on how long it takes to drop it to this. That's what I will be doing most of the time, just drag and dropping to these drives. So let's get started with this one first. I will not be, I don't know if this even comes with a program, but I will not be installing any programs. Look at that. Okay, it sees the first drive, and let's see if it comes up. So it came up. I'm hoping that it's just a problem with the NAS and this drive works. It's a large drive, so I'd like to actually still use it. I'm gonna use the GUID partition table, or GUID, since I'll be putting files that are bigger than I forget the limitation. Is it 2 terabytes or 2 gigabytes? I think it's 2 gigabytes. This is maxed out at 2 gigs for older OS and for newer OS. Ooh, I gotta give it a drive letter. Let me see what I'm gonna give this one. You do what you want, but I'm gonna start from the bottom up so they kind of stay together. The Z drive I usually use, but I don't really need to right now. I usually leave the Y and Z drives, the DVD drives, so they don't get all mixed up and they're always the Y and Z. But I haven't plugged in a DVD or whatever for a long time. So I guess when I'm going to, since it's not gonna be on permanently, I'll give those different drives. Plus I could change my mind. So I'm gonna start with number 5 is, I'm gonna make number 1 the 5th one. So I'm gonna, since this drive is number 5, I'll start with the last one and go backwards. I name it the drive size. So I'm gonna make it a Z drive. Click next. Put this, what did I say this was? I think this is a 12 terabyte drive. Let me just, -01. Oh, I'm sorry, 05 to indicate the bay number. 12 terabyte 05. I guess I can rename it if I make a mistake. NTFS. And click next. And finished. Fan's going off. It's working. The fan is on here, and I'm assuming the fan is on at the bottom. Even though it shows 10, it's actually 12. NTFS, everything looks good. So let's just drag and drop and try some things out. According to the program Disk Checkup, it's okay, the status. This is the program I'm running, Disk Checkup. It's free online. So I'm gonna do a quick short test with this program on this drive. Not the long one, because that takes forever. And let's come back when it's finished. So according to this, it has no errors. I think it's the my Drobo. My next test is the G Smart control. Let me see what this says. I'm not an expert on this. So according to the self-test log here, I am okay. It says 100% completed without errors. But in the error log, wow, am I getting a bunch of errors. So maybe there's nothing wrong with the Drobo. It's all red, and it's saying that when I highlight, I come over, let me see. Alert, the drive is reporting internal errors. Your data may be at risk depending on error severity. So yeah, don't yeah, this is going to be, again, I'm not going to use it as a main drive at all. My next test will be with the HDD scan. The icon that looks like that. So let me run the smart test. Status is green. Oh, good. But when I look at the attributes detailed, I'm getting one error here. So the drive may be actually going bad. All right, so I'm gonna copy the tests. I ran all the ones that work on the drive, all the free ones, and so far so good. Okay, I think the drive is dying. Hopefully I'll have a little while with it. I won't use it to put important things on it. I'll just use it sparingly. So let me copy a 20 gig file and see the speed I get. It's connected to USB 3.0 port. So this is a 20 gig file, and I'm averaging about 140 megabytes, it looks like. Not too bad. Better than nothing. It's USB, and it is a SATA drive. So, 160, all right. I'm gonna call it at 150. And it's about 2 minutes to move 20 gigs. So I finished copying over the actual drive. I'm happy with the performance. It's more than enough. The longest part is going to be actually copying many of the files from here to this, but that's going to be boring. I'm going to just set it up and leave. I'm going to set up the rest of the drives. I'm going to use the ones that have reported from the Drobo that they have critical errors. Because I think they're going to eventually die within 6 months, maybe to a year, and the Drobo may have been warning me about that. Better, you know, they want to warn you early, so it's not too late, and you can make the arrangements on getting another replacement drive. So I don't think there's anything with the reading from the Drobo in regards to the errors, but I think the Drobo, because I can't even touch it. If I pull the front of this, it'll reset and start to reconfigure itself. I don't know why. It's very sensitive. Everything's become very sensitive with this Drobo. A couple of times I shut down and turned on the computer, and this goes into a rechecking. And I think something's going on with the Drobo. And it took me forever to get the drives to turn all green. So this is my backup plan. Since I can't use the Drobo anymore, I'm kind of going to get away from the RAID configuration, just so that if that happens, you know, if I do JBOD, the nice thing is I can use any docking station. So I use this docking station. I can actually just buy another docking station and just move the drives over, and there's no configuration, there's no putting it into another Drobo. I can't take the drives here and put them into, let's say, a Synology drive, and it come up and the RAID is set up because it's configured by Drobo. So with this setup, it solves that issue. I don't have that issue. The drives are all treated as individual drives. So I'm gonna go with this setup more. I've been using the Drobo for years. It's worked flawless, and I still have another couple of Drobos, but I'm gonna start getting away from it since it's no longer supported. I don't think the company is in business anymore, so I have to start coming up with a different solution. And I want to get away from the RAID there. I'm going to actually do things like this. I saw one that's a 10 bay docking station, so I might end up doing that as well. Not sure yet. But in any event, I'm going to use this until it dies. I won't put anything sensitive on it. I'll use it until it dies, and I'll just replace it with another drive. I'm going to put 2 good ones on 1 and 2, and they'll be the ones I put my YouTube stuff on, and I'll make one of them my desktop where the video files that I'm working on will be. As for this thing, I'm going to have the last 3, 4, and 5 drives be the ones reported by Drobo with errors. And hopefully they'll last me. I'll get a little bit of life out of them, and I'll use them sparingly. All right, so I hope you liked the video. I hope it helps. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Fits nice. Bye now.